Hey everyone. Hi. How is everybody doing? I'm hoping my microphone is working. I was having some issues. So as soon as somebody gets on, if you can jump in and just tell me if you can hear me, that would be great. So anyway, hi, thank you for joining me. It is Wednesday. I know some of you are celebrating Hanukkah, and thank you for taking the time to be with me, either live or for if this is recorded. So I want to talk about meal planning because this is the season. Thank you, Laurice, and it's nice to see you. Hey, Lisa. Oh gosh, Lisa, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Okay, now I'm going to stop looking at the comments because that's where I get all squirrely. So I want to talk about meal planning because meal planning is really hard this time of year. And I think sometimes we have some strange thoughts about meal planning. Like, I don't know about you, but I go onto Pinterest and I see people with meal plans and they have all of these containers laid out and all of their meals perfectly done for the whole week. And I am in awe and a little scared because I cannot do that. And it makes me think I can only do meal planning when everything is perfect. It's not the case. Meal planning is simply planning some meals. And here's why I think that's really important. Because if we're having pizza on Thursday night, and I think, okay, we're having pizza on Thursday night, that's going to be a high point meal. I don't want to worry about it. I'll just do what feels right, and it's fine. I'll probably have one, maybe two pieces of pizza. Then when Thursday comes, I have two pieces of pizza, third piece of pizza, and then as I'm cleaning things up, I might have a fourth piece of pizza. That is what happens to me when I just do what feels right. So the trick with meal planning is to say, okay, I'm having pizza. I want to be generous and realistic. Those are the phrases I want you to think about when you're making a meal plan. Generous and realistic. So if I say I'm going to have 3 pieces of pizza on Thursday night, that's what I'm going to have. That's what feels right to me now. It feels generous. I'm not saying I'm having one small piece of pizza, and it's realistic that I know myself and I know I'm not going to have one piece of pizza. But if I say I'm going to have 3 pieces of pizza, then odds are on Thursday I'll have 3 pieces of pizza. Whereas if I wouldn't have planned it, I'll have 4 pieces of pizza. So kind of thinking about it does not have to be perfect. A meal plan is planning my meal. So that means generous and realistic. I'm going to have 3 pieces of pizza. That keeps you in the game. And listen, if you're overly generous and you get to that second piece of pizza and you feel like you're kind of done, I have never felt bad about doing less points than what my plan is. I've never felt bad about that. And yes, it has happened on occasion, not often, but sometimes. So what I want you to think about is just how can I make a plan? So there's a couple of ways you can do this. One is to look at your calendar and make a plan for the week. For most of us, it's not breakfast that we have to plan. Most of us have a pretty good handle on breakfast. Maybe it's lunches, but for a lot of us, it's dinner. So you make a plan. Here's what it can be. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because today's Wednesday. I've had dinner. Thursday, pizza. If I have pizza and I plan 3 pieces of pizza, then that's 30 points. I just need to plan for that. Friday night, we've got something else going on, and I have the weigh-in on Saturday. So it needs to be easy and low points. Saturday, I'm busy all day, as you guys know. So we need to have slow cooker. Sunday, we have a brunch. And then a normal dinner. Monday, same thing, normal dinner. Then I look at this plan and I say, okay, easy and low points. Why don't we have scrambled eggs and like hash browns or something easy, or fancier, an omelet, but not hard. Friday's already planned. This is all a meal plan has to be. You just look at the next few days. What am I doing for dinner? What does it need to be? The other way you can do it is just in the morning after you've had some coffee so you can think about it. say, what are we having for dinner tonight? You're going to have to make that choice anyway when it gets to be dinner time. So why not make it before you're stressed and starving and everyone is yelling and you're trying to figure it out? Take the time in the morning to say, what are we going to have for dinner? And that can be scrambled eggs. It's okay. Be nice to yourself. It can be pizza. It can be fast food. Just make a plan for it that's generous and realistic. So that way you practice sticking to a plan that you've made for yourself and you prove to yourself that you can do it, because that's not usually where we get into trouble. It's not the 3 pieces of pizza that usually gets us in trouble. It's when we have 4 and then 5 and then we're picking at the breadsticks. That's what happens. When you make a plan for 3 pieces of pizza, it's okay. It works out. Tricks that can help. I'm a big fan of taking a realistic look at the places you tend to get takeout from, fast food places, pizza places, and almost coming up with like index cards of here's what I get when I go there. So here's one. Pizza. We like to have Papa John's pizza. And if I know an original crust, large cheese pizza, a slice of that is 10 points per slice. I'm okay with that. It's really worth it. But on the days that I need some extra points, like I need to save some points, I also know that I can get the veggie thin crust pizza for 6 points a piece. So that's almost half of the points value of the original crust, because the crust has a lot of points. It's totally worth it most of the time. But I know these are the 2 things that I get. I don't look at the extra cheese. I don't look at all those other things because I don't need to know that. I know that if I go to Panera, I can get black bean soup, which apparently is seasonal, for 0 points. Or I can get a Greek salad with the bread for 10 points, or I can get an everything bagel for 9, or people like the chicken noodle soup, a bowl of that is 3 points. I'm not telling you to eat those things. I'm telling you, pick 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things at places you tend to go and almost have it as a card in your head of, when I go to Panera, I get a Greek salad and the French baguette, and it's 10 points for the whole thing. And I like it. It works for me, and it's points that I can work with. Does this make sense? So I have it for a whole bunch of different things. In my head, I have it for Chipotle. I have it for Burger King. I have it for all the places that I tend to go, because that's a plan that you don't have to think about anymore. So now if somebody's like, hey, do you want to go for lunch? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Let's go to Panera, because I know what I can get that I like there. Another thing that's really good for meal planning that I think people